It is day 2 of championship week here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and day 2, game 1 features the 2A championship game for the girls between Melbourne and Salem here at Bank OZK Arena. Hell of a one, I'm RJ Hawk along with Bobby Swafford for today's game. And Bobby, you look at these two games and the Melbourne Lady Cats are going for their 3rd straight championship.
And if they're going to win it, they're going to have to beat their opponent for the 5th time this season. Salem and Melbourne know all about each other. They duked it out 4 times during the regular season, and then the postseason, 3 of those really close contests. So if Melbourne wants to repeat as a repeat champion, they got some work to do.
There's a lot of high-flying players on this team, but before we get to that, let's take a look at the bracket and see how they got to this point. Both these teams really impressive road wins at the state tournament. For Melbourne, we'll start with them. This is a team in the state tournament, Bobby, averaging 71 points a game, only giving up 28.
Yeah, they got the luxury of playing that state tournament on their home floor, and it looked like it. A 42-point victory over Mansfield in the quarterfinals, and then a 37-point beatdown of Fordyce in the semis. They haven't been tested really since February the 27th, when they played Salem in the regional tournament.
And for Salem in the state tournament, averaging 56 points a game, giving up 42. This is probably, you look at teams that should be in the state championship, these are the 2 best teams in Class 2A.
Yeah, the number 1 seed in their bracket got beat early on, so they got the benefit of that. Sometimes you need that, to get a little help from everybody else in your bracket, but you got to give them a lot of credit. They've been playing really, really well since January the 5th. They're 15-3 since January 5th. All 3 losses to Melbourne.
For Melbourne, Jenna Lawrence, a Razorback commitment. She is on the floor and looking for big things from her tonight for Melbourne.
Yeah, obviously she's going to have a spotlight on her. Just a sophomore, but she's already been here. She's played in this state championship before. She's ready for the big stage, but you never know how things are going to react playing for that state crown.
And for Chelsea Hamilton on the Salem side, she's their big-time player, averaging 17 points a game.
Yeah, they're going to need a big contest for her. You mentioned the 17 points per game, also just a sophomore. So we're going to see how she handles the spotlight. Doesn't have the size like Lawrence does, but we'll see how she can get her shot off.
We got a whole lot more coming up next. It's the 2A Girls State Championship game as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Arkansas PBS is a place where everyone can see themselves, where everyone can find themselves, where everyone can be a part of something bigger than themselves.
For students, it's always more fun to include the arts when you're learning. I mean, just to have expression, to see different forms of entertainment, it always just makes it more fun.
Poetry is something that exists beyond the page and also on the stage. And so I was so happy that they followed young poets, saw the value in it, and wanted to document it.
Why everybody in the school tried to remain calm, but inside there was no inner calm.
Arkansas PBS is a seed that grows into a tree that branches out into fruit that can feed the world.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
We on that next level. We on that next level.
Back here at Bank OZK Arena, we just wrapped up the national anthem. Now let's go ahead and give you today's starting lineups, and we'll first start with the visiting Salem Lady Greyhounds. They're under the direction of Josh Bateman out of Class 7-2A. They come in 22-7 on the year, and their lineup looks like this. They come out with Chelsea Hamilton, who we talked about before the break, averaging 17 points per game. She's a 44% three-point shooter, and she's only a 5'6" sophomore guard for Salem. They'll also have Greenlee Hall, a 5'10" sophomore forward, J.C. Strong, a 5'6" junior guard, Amber Yates, a 5'10" senior forward, and Marley Sellers, a 5'6" freshman guard.
I think Marley Sellers could be the X factor in this contest. 14 points, 6 rebounds per game. We talked about how important Chesley Hamilton's going to be. Got to have that dynamic duo, and maybe number 51, Marley Sellers, for Salem.
As for the Melbourne Lady Cats, they're in the direction of Eric T. Got a Class 2-2A. They come in with a record of 31-1, looking for their third straight state title. And their lineup looks like this. You've got Hallie Weaver, who is a guard. Kylie Humphreys, the 6'1" senior forward. Josie Roark, the 5'6" senior guard. Jenna Lawrence, who we talked about earlier, 6'2" sophomore forward, who's committed to the University of Arkansas. And Kinley McCarn, who is a 5'9" junior guard, who is also committed at the college level to Tennessee Martin.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent in this Melbourne lineup, a lot of experience in the lineup as well. You mentioned this is their third straight championship game appearance, going for crown number 3 in a row. And with so many underclassmen, with Lawrence and McCarn due back next year, both committed to play at the Division I level, you got to believe Melbourne's going to be a pretty good favorite to win the title again next year.
Bobby, you think it's only 2A basketball. You don't think of 2A schools taking on the Giants in classifications. For Melbourne, listen to this. This year alone, I told you they're 31-1. They have already knocked off this year 6A champion Northside.
Yep.
They beat 5A finalist Jonesboro. They beat Bologna, who's out of the 5A. They beat Marion out of the 5A, and they also beat 6A opponent Van Buren.
Yeah, they didn't shy away from playing anybody. And when I saw that they had scheduled a home-and-home with Northside early in the season, I'm like, okay, they're pretty confident about themselves. Then they go to Fort Smith and beat the Lady Bears, who you mentioned already won a 6A state championship.
Yeah.
The second game didn't happen because of COVID, but that shows you they're not afraid of anybody, but they're also battle-tested. They knew they were going to need that early season experience against some bigger opponents, bigger competition to finish off a third straight run. You mentioned Van Buren. Bologna was a number 1 seed. They won the 5A West Conference tournament. And Jonesboro, again, another state finalist. So they're ready. They're not going to be afraid of the stage. But on the other side of things, Salem is 22-3 this year against teams not named Melbourne. And they're 3 of those 4 games, the first 3 contests, all decided by 5 points or less. Now, the one in the regional tournament got away from them a little bit, 24-point loss just 13 days ago. But they're not going to be afraid of Melbourne, and we're going to see how they react to this big stage here in Hot Springs.
Both players are at jumping center for Salem. You've got Amber Yates going up against Jenna Lawrence, and the tip is in favor of the Lady Cats as they'll work it from right to left here at Bank OZK Arena. Jenna Lawrence handles the basketball as they'll work it left side. That's into the hands of Roark. Back over to the top of the key. That's out to McCarn. McCarn stands at the jump circle. She'll come back left side with it to Roark. At the free throw line, they're just going to work the ball around to find that open shot. One thing you're going to notice about Melbourne, they're a very, very patient team. They play patiently on offense and really good defense throughout the course of the ball game.
Salem doing a nice job on the interior defense, a lot of switching, a lot of moving parts. But you can tell 45 Amber Yates not getting too far off of Lawrence. She's on her like a hawk.
They go down low to Humphreys. Backside cut to Weaver. She puts it up. It goes. And she's fouled. She'll head to the free throw line to shoot 1.
You mentioned the patience there, RJ, and that shows. Just worked it around and worked a full 50 seconds right there until they got the ball into the paint. Nice interior passing, and Weaver has a chance to convert the three-point play.
Free throws up off the front of the rim. It's no good, and the rebound's pulled in by Salem. Bringing it up is Chelsea Hamilton. Hamilton takes it topside to Sellers, who going to work it around and set up the offense back at the jump circle. Sellers goes back left side to Strong. Strong on the left side of the paint goes up. It's blocked out of bounds. And that time it was Jenna Lawrence who knocked it out of bounds.
I like the aggressiveness of J.C. Strong, but major size advantage as far as the height category for Melbourne. And Lawrence easily swats that one out of bounds.
Inbound pass is going to come by Strong as it's going to be tipped up and retained by Salem as Hamilton's got it, then gives it off to Sellers. Sellers back right side into the hands of Strong. Salem trying to set up that offense with a very, very stingy defense of Melbourne as the ball gets knocked out of bounds. I meant to mention just a minute ago, Chris Dunn, Floyd Shivers, and Todd Harnd are our officials. Todd Harnd is celebrating his 30 year of high school officiating. This is his first state championship game to work at the high school level. Works back left side. Here's Sellers, pulls up from 6 feet, knocks it down, and we've got a tie ball game.
Nice decision by Sellers to pull up for the 8 to 10 footer. Didn't want to get too far in the paint with the trees for Melbourne.
Now here's just inside the 3-point line. They're going to call it a 2, and that was Kylie Humphreys who was able to knock that one down to quickly give Melbourne a 2-point lead.
That's going to make things so much easier if they can knock out and hit some 18 to 20 foot jump shots, because it's going to open up the lane, which is going to create a path for Lawrence.
Hamilton on the right side of the paint, goes up with the right hand. Hits off glass, no rim, and Melbourne comes down with the basketball. Almost loses it and does lose it out of bounds. I believe Jenna Lawrence just lost it off her knee that time.
Yeah, just kind of looking to create something on the fast break and lost track of the basketball, and it trickles out of bounds.
So Sellers will bring the ball in the front court. Boy, Bobby, when you think about Sellers and Hamilton, just two young athletes that are really good for this basketball team. Ball goes down low and out of bounds. It's going to stay with Salem with 5:23 to play here in the first quarter.
That's a good decision by Hamilton. Drive, draws the defense and dish it off, but that one deflected out of bounds.
Inbound pass comes right side to Yates. Gives it off over to Sellers. Now back top of the key, they work it. Strong almost lost the handle on it, got it back into Sellers' hands. And she'll bring it back out to the jump circle.
The closeout defense for Melbourne's been outstanding. Salem's having to work for everything they get.
Here's Sellers on the left side of the lane, no good, but offensive rebound goes to Yates. She comes back up with it. It rolls around, it's no good. Melbourne retains possession as Josie Roark comes down with it. And nice deflection there by Salem. Coming up with it for Salem is going to be Chelsea Hamilton.
Nice job by the Salem defense. Get back, create a turnover, create a little havoc. Didn't get out on the fast break, but that might lead to some quick points in transition moving forward.
And a whistle and a foul. The foul's going to be on Kenley McCarn. That'll be her first personal. That's the first foul of the ball game. As the inbound pass comes to Yates, she works it in the lane. They work it back out the top now. And a 4:26 to play here in the first quarter as Hamilton works left side to the free throw line. Into the lane with the right hand. It's too hard, and ball's going to be loose on the floor. Hamilton's right there to get it. She'll clear things back out and set up the offense. Back right side goes Strong. She pulls up, no good. Yates comes back in, gets a big board and puts it back in.
Nice job by Amber Yates staying active on the glass. That was a opportunity there for Salem. They had to work for every chance, but Yates takes advantage.
Now working quickly goes Melbourne as Kylie Humphreys is able to stop and pop, and it's now 6-4 Melbourne.
Yeah, if you're Salem, you've got to do a better job getting back defensively and keep Melbourne from just posting up in the paint. That was too easy of a bucket.
Working it right side is Sellers. Now into the paint. She'll pull up from the free throw line. No good off the back of the iron. Saved by Salem's Yates. Here's Chelsea Hamilton for three. It's no good, and Melbourne comes down with the rebound. Top of the key goes McCarn. Works it right side into the hands of Weaver. She'll pull up for three from the corner. She is able to knock it down and give Melbourne a 9-4 lead.
That's 5 points for Weaver as she just buries the triple. Thought she might be too far in the corner, but no matter as she found the nylon.
Sellers works baseline. Has it blocked away. I believe that time it was Jenna Lawrence who got a hand on it. And now here comes McCarn. McCarn, cross-court pass to Roark for three. Too strong, but right there to get the rebound was Lawrence, and she lost the handle on it as it went out of bounds, and it will stay with Melbourne with 2:46 to play in the first quarter. 9-4, Melbourne leads Salem, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Arkansas PBS, the value we provide our business sponsors is a powerful blend of community engagement, corporate philanthropy, and cause marketing. The PBS audience is loyal and selective, and our viewers choose businesses that support the station they love. A thriving public media station is an essential part of any healthy community, and sponsorship is a solid investment for you and your business. Join us in sponsorship and signal your values on Arkansas PBS.
Support your team and join the basketball conversation on social media. Just use the hashtag ARPBS Sports.
How awesome is it to see those kids in the stands watching basketball games? Here's a three-pointer by Melbourne's Kenley McCarn, and she knocks it down, and they extend the lead to 12-4.
Yeah, Salem's going to have to get out on the shooters now, and this is why this Melbourne team is so good. They can beat you on the inside, they can beat you from the outside, and they've opened up an 8-point lead here in this first.
They work it left side into the hands of Yates. Back over to Hamilton now. Hamilton puts up a shot that was partially blocked by Jenna Lawrence, and it goes out of bounds. It'll stay with Salem. Inbound pass comes from the left side, and they get it to Yates in the left corner. Strong will set up the offense now. Back over right side to Sellers. Top the key, they work it over to Hall. Back to Strong at the free throw line. Here comes Hamilton in the lane, puts up the shot, she's fouled. Foul's gonna be called that time by Kylie Humphreys. And for Humphreys, that's her first personal foul.
Nice job by Hamilton to attack the lane. She averages 17 points a game, hasn't got on the board yet here. We'll see if a trip to the foul line can get her going.
Shots in and out, no good. Chelsea Hamilton, only a sophomore for this Salem team, has a bright future with the Greyhounds. Second free throw is no good.
Missed opportunity there for Salem. Got to be able to take advantage. Maybe playing a quality program like Melbourne.
They work it inside out for three, air ball, and it'll go out of bounds, and Salem will get the basketball.
You know, Melbourne didn't connect there, but they're getting some open looks. They've got to be able to close out on those shooters, RJ, otherwise it could be a long day for this Greyhound defense.
A minute 40 and counting left here in the first quarter. 12-4, Melbourne on top of Salem. Sellers has it right side. Back to Strong, over to Sellers. Sellers trying to get it over to Hamilton. Chelsea works around the screen. That's going to set everything back up. She'll pull up for a deep three, and she knocks it home. Boy, that was NBA range three right there, Bobby.
Didn't connect at the free throw line, and it's probably just too close. 25-footer.
Here's another three by Melbourne. It's no good. Offensive rebound by McCarn. She puts it back up, and it's taken in by Hall for Salem. And here comes Chelsea Hamilton. Hamilton works around to one defender, puts up a shot. She gets fouled. She'll head to the free throw line and shoot two.
Yeah, she might have been using the first few minutes of this game as a feeling out process, but Chelsea Hamilton is going to try to take this over for Salem. Two straight drives to the bucket, sandwiches a deep three-pointer you see right there, and Hamilton's starting to get her offensive game flowing.
And that free throw is no good. She has not been good at the line so far. As she's now 0 of 3 at the free throw line. Second one is good. It's a 4-point game now. 50 seconds to play in the first quarter. McCarn goes right side. Here's the three-point attempt for Melbourne. That was Laney Cornelius. She knocked down the tray, and it's 15-8.
Big shot there by Cornelius. You see this, the number of weapons for this Melbourne squad. Kind of an embarrassment of riches for Coach Eric Teague.
We're going to let the clock wind down as we're under 20 seconds to play first quarter. Look at that, Melbourne shooting 60% for the game right now. Salem 23. Chelsea Hamilton works it back right side to Sellers. Down to 3 seconds. Sellers going to pull up for three. It's partially blocked, and that's going to do it for the first quarter.
It's a big defensive stop there for Melbourne, and kind of indicative of how that first quarter went. Salem having to work for every open look, but the length of Melbourne's defense is an issue.
15-8 is our score at the end of the first quarter. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory-certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Let me see it bounce, 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 bounce.
Be the first to know what's happening at Arkansas PBS and get the latest sports updates. All you have to do is download the Engage Arkansas PBS app today for exclusive content.
Salem with the basketball as we start the second quarter of play. And Melbourne leading 15-8. For Salem with the basketball is going to be Sellers. She puts it up with the right hand. No good. Rebounds taken in by Melbourne. And they'll bring it up as McCarn will bring it into the front court.
Melbourne had 4 block shots in that first quarter, and that was another possession that was altered by the length of this Lady Bearcat defense.
They swing it around the perimeter and get it back in the hands of McCarn. Works it back right side. Thought about a 3 there, that being Hallie Weaver. They get it back here down to Lawrence. Lawrence with the right hand in the lane. It's no good. And we've got a whistle, and the ball, there's going to be a foul on the floor. Who are they going to call that on? I believe.
Cassidy Walling.
Yeah, Cassidy Walling, who just checked in during the break, got called with that foul. That's her first. They go top side to Roark. Back over to Jenna Lawrence. Top of the key to McCarn. McCarn in the lane, throws up a wild shot. Rebounds taken on the floor by Salem, and they're going to work quickly. Working it right side. That's Strong in the lane to Yates, and we got a whistle and a travel. She shuffled her feet as she was getting ready to go up with the shot, and it's a turnover.
Yeah, I'd like to see Strong just attack the basket there. Had some numbers, but she waited for the defense, and again, or waited for her offense to get there, but again, that's another sign of the defense affecting what Salem is trying to get done.
6:42 and counting, 15-8, Melbourne on top of Salem. Jenna Lawrence has the basketball, just gives it off to Kenley McCarn. They go left side. That's going back and forth, very, very patient. Now in the lane goes Salem, and for Melbourne, that was Josie Roark, and she got fouled. She'll head to the free throw line and shoot 2.
Couldn't get set up there to take the charge, but good aggressive take by Roark to get herself to the foul line.
Cassidy Walling got picked with her second personal foul as the free throw's up and good. Checking back in the ball game is going to be Greenlee Hall for Salem. Free throw's good. That will make it a 9-point game.
If you're Salem, you've just got to settle in. They haven't been able to get a lot of good looks without attacking the basket and going into the interior of this Melbourne defense. See if you can set up a play for the perimeter, get a nice open look.
Works to the left side to Strong. Now into the hands of Hamilton. Back over top side, they go to Hall. Well, I tell you, Hamilton, she's a jitterbug, isn't she? Just all over the court. Here's Hamilton, has her shot blocked by Jenna Lawrence. And now quickly, here comes Melbourne. Working to the left side is McCarn. McCarn in the lane, comes back over to Roark for three. It's off the front of the iron, no good. And Yates comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, Salem shooting just 3 of 16 from the floor. Got to find a way to get an easy bucket.
Here's Sellers in the paint. Gives it over to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to slow things down. Hamilton being guarded by Weaver as they work it right side. That's over to Strong. Bounce pass in the corner, and that's too strong, but Yates is there to get an offensive rebound, and she's fouled.
Yates doing a really nice job on the glass. Her 5th rebounds of the game so far, able to draw the foul. Nowhere near the bonus, though.
Hamilton's going to inbound the basketball. She'll give it off to Yates. Left side, bounce, off the glass. It's good. That's a great move by Yates.
Good looking inbound play there as Yates faked like she was going to come across the defense, and then stopped right back to the middle of the paint for the easy deuce.
We've got a timeout on the floor charged to Salem. It'll be a 30-second timeout. Bobby, you just talked about that inbounds play. It looked like they practiced that once or twice because she was very comfortable cutting across the lane and putting it back up.
Yeah, that's a play that's well designed. It gets the defense thinking that Yates is going to go all the way across the zone, but instead comes back to the middle of the defense, kind of finds a hole there in the lane and gets the easy bucket. And that's something that Salem needs to do. They need to find new ways to get Yates involved. They've got to find ways to get Hamilton involved. And Marley Sellers, who averages 14 points a game, just has 2 points right now as well. So kind of a slow start for Salem, but the beauty of it is you're shooting 22%. You're still only down 7.
Yeah. 17-10. 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Kenley McCarn comes back left side, puts it in the hands of Jenna Lawrence. Lawrence has it over on the right wing. Gives it off to Roark, back over to McCarn. McCarn kicks it to the corner. Here's the three-point attempt. It's airballed, and Yates is there to pick up the rebound. Sellers brings the ball in the front court, gives it back over to Yates. Yates will work it over Lawrence. She puts it up. Lawrence gets another block.
Lawrence having a big day in the paint. 3 rebounds now, no points, but shot defenders.
Now here's the three-point attempt. No good. Hamilton comes down with the rebound for Salem.
6 block shots for this Melbourne defense in just a quarter and a half.
Chelsea Hamilton stop and pop in the lane. No good. And the rebound's pulled in that time by Kenley McCarn. Under 4 to play in the first half, and Melbourne leads at 17-10.
Slow it down just a touch. Starting to see a little fatigue factor here for this Melbourne starting 5.
Work it right side to Weaver. Now back cross court over to McCarn. McCarn's going to pull up for 3, and it's nothing but the bottom of the net.
All it took was a little patience, and McCarn lets one rip as she knocks down her second triple.
20-10, 3:23 and counting left here in the first half. Sellers works it right side to Strong. Back over, out to Hall, who gets it back into the hands of Sellers. Sellers to Hamilton for 3. It's an air ball. She didn't even come close to the rim. Melbourne comes down with it, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Oh, they're going to call an offensive foul. They call the offensive foul on Kenley McCarn, and for McCarn, that's her second personal foul, and that's going to take us to a media timeout. 20-10, Melbourne on top of Salem. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Throughout the years of exploring Arkansas, we've taken you to quite a few awe-inspiring places, mainly as seen at ground level. But exploring all those natural wonders and iconic landmarks takes on a whole new exhilarating perspective from a bird's eye view. Welcome to Exploring Arkansas from Above. We'll showcase the natural state like never before. Join us for the high adventure in 2021.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Without you, Arkansas PBS sports would not be possible. Consider becoming a member to support Arkansas high school sports today. You can do so at myarkansaspbs.org.
Under 3 to play here in the first half, 20-10, as Sellers has the basketball, takes to the right wing. Sellers to the free throw line, back over the left side, that's out to Strong. Strong in the lane, puts up a shot, it hits off the front of the iron, it's no good. And here comes McCarn with the basketball for Melbourne.
Yeah, good stop there, but nice look for Salem to get to the interior of the paint. They work it right side, now back to McCarn. McCarn back over to Weaver. Weaver has the ball stolen away by Hamilton. We've got a whistle and a foul, and it's going against Melbourne. And boy, Chelsea Hamilton, she is just a fun basketball player to watch. Yeah, nice job there to deny the entry pass and get her a chance to get her team back at maybe a little momentum as they've got a 3-minute scoring drought.
Now here's Sellers. Works it back right side. That's over to Walling. Walling in the right corner. Walling back top of the key, they go over to Hall. Now Hall's gonna pull up from 10 feet, it's no good. Sellers comes down with a rebound, back over to Hamilton for 3. She hits the bottom of the net, and it's 20-13.
Nice job by Hamilton. This buries the long range 3, and Melbourne gonna take a quick timeout to talk about it. Coming up next on the Arkansas PBS Halftime Show with Steve Sullivan, we're gonna celebrate former student athletes with the Little Rock School District. We're gonna shoot hoops with Clifford the Bid Red Dog, and meet Mackenzie Soden with Tuckerman High School. So stay with us on the Arkansas PBS Halftime Show.
You know, for people that don't follow Bobby on social media, Bobby has a, you have a hobby of collecting pictures with mascots.
I do.
And I would love to see that Arkansas PBS segment with Bobby and Clifford the Big Red Dog shooting hoops.
I actually got a selfie with Clifford the Big Red Dog here at the state finals a couple years ago.
Did you now?
It was him and Curious George.
I'm gonna need CJ and Tanisha next year in that piece have you shooting with Clifford the Big Red Dog.
I'm down with that.
Okay. 1:42 left here in the first half as McCarn's got it for Melbourne. They work it left side. Into the hands of Hallie Skidmore, and ball got deflected out. And so Melbourne's going to have it right here on the near sideline. They go back right side. That's over to Roark. They swing it around the perimeter. Over the left side to Cornelius. Back over to Skidmore. Now over to McCarn, top of the key. She'll pull up for 3. And I believe it was partially blocked as it goes out of bounds. And Salem will have the basketball with 1:15 to play here in the first half.
You know, as good as they've been defensively, Melbourne having their own issues on the offensive end. Their scoring drought now nearing 2.5 minutes. But Salem hasn't been able to chip away at this lead as much as they would like.
Yates thought about pulling up for 3, then goes back right side over to Hamilton. Under a minute to play here in the first half. Hamilton left side over to Strong. And we've got a whistle, and we've got an offensive foul.
They're going to get J.C. Strong with the push-off. That's going to give Melbourne the basketball back, and we'll see if they want to bleed this final 50 seconds down, or let's go ahead and play it out and see if they get a good shot.
50.9 seconds to play here in the first half. It's a 7-point game. As Kinley McCarn brings the ball in the front court for the Lady Cats. McCarn being pressured heavily by Sellers. They kick it down to the corner. That's over to Cornelius. Now left side in the lane goes Roark. She puts up a left hand. It's no good. Hamilton comes down with the rebound. Hamilton on the right wing. She'll work it down the baseline. Goes up with a shot. It's no good. Airballed. Thought there should have been a foul there, but either way, here comes McCarn. McCarn takes it to the free throw line to Jenna Lawrence. We've got a whistle, and they're going to say a foul on Yates.
That's a tough break for Yates. Just a hustle play there, diving for the loose ball. A little too much body. And luckily for Salem, that's just her first personal.
And I think Yates had the wind knocked out of her for a brief moment. She landed right on the basketball.
She's done a really good job defensively on Lawrence inside.
They go right side to Cornelius. Now swing it right side over to Roark. Back top the key to McCarn. Now right side for three goes, I believe that was Weaver, and that's going to do it for the first half. Melbourne, they lead Salem by a score of 20-3 as we head to halftime, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett, Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
Hello and welcome to the Arkansas PBS Sports Halftime Show. I'm Steve Sullivan coming to you from the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame in North Little Rock. We'll take you back to that 2A girls final at Bank OZK Arena in just a bit. But right now I want to share a story that I was proud to be a part of, the 2020 Little Rock School District's One Rock Legends Hall of Fame induction ceremony. The ceremony celebrates past student athletes who have set a high bar and encourages the next generation to reach for new heights on the field, on the court, and in the classroom.
Well, we're here to honor the Little Rock School District One Rock Legends Hall of Fame. There's multiple schools in Little Rock School District, but we're honoring them all together. That's why we call it One Rock.
What this does is recognize the kids that came through the Little Rock School District, through the public school system, and were able to achieve great things.
When kids can see it, they think they can be it. So we try to give them what we call identifiable role models.
We've taken upon ourselves bringing these people back into the community and letting them tell their stories of how they got started in the Little Rock School District and their trials and tribulations they went through in life to get them where they are today.
It's about kids in the community, and that's what we have to do and get really a grip on, helping to raise our kids in our community.
So we try to encourage them along their journey and to give them a path. Without guidance, you may be directed the wrong way.
Idle time for anyone is very dangerous, and too much idle time is even more dangerous. So participating in sports, or you could be playing chess, you know, the debate club, it's something though.
The more things that you can have to do, the better you are, and it keeps you focused on something.
It's really bigger than the game. You live a lot of life without the sport, so you know, it teaches you a lot of things: how to share with others, how to be a team, you know, how to solve problems, you know, how to get along, how to not to quit.
Decide what it is that you like to do and go out and do it, and find a way to keep it important. Sometimes you can be lucky and do the things that you love to do.
But if you study, do your homework, be respectful. I mean, those kinds of things, those are traits that, it just takes you forever into your adulthood and when you become a parent.
You can be an NFL Rookie of the Year. You can be like Tyler Scave, who was McDonald's All-American. You can do that. That came from right here from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Congratulations to all of the 2020 inductees. The ceremony is part of the 6th and Goal Model Up program, which stresses retention and the academic progress of students through extracurricular activities. And speaking of athletes setting a high bar, our own RJ Hawk had the opportunity recently to catch up with Mackenzie Soden out of Tuckerman High School. RJ, take it away.
Well, Mackenzie, it's great to have you along. Boy, I tell you what, you're only a sophomore. You play point guard for Tuckerman. What's it like being the leader for this basketball team? You know, you don't see a lot of sophomores being that role model or that leader. What's that like for you?
Well, it's being a leader. I mean, I have to be a leader on and off the court because I'm the coach's daughter anyways, and so people look at me.
You know, let me ask you that. You talk about being the coach's daughter. Is that tough sometimes, you know, because not only do you have to deal with coach in practice, but then you have to deal with coach when you get home?
Yeah, that's really tough, to be honest, but I get a lot of insight on stuff too, so it can be good.
What's it like been for you this year with COVID and having to really kind of redo your routine on how you get ready for a basketball game? What's that like been for you?
Well, it's really different because not all your family can come to the games either. And so, I don't know, it's just giving out vouchers. You got to find enough vouchers for your family and stuff like that. It's been tough.
Never thought that you have to go through a pandemic as only a sophomore in high school. Now, you know, if somebody's watching, we're broadcasting all across the state of Arkansas. You know, a lot of people don't know exactly where Tuckerman is. What are you doing for fun in Tuckerman when you're not playing basketball?
Well, my mom's a farmer, and so we'll go out there and we will ride around on the side-by-side or, you know, four-wheelers, stuff like that.
You know, being only a sophomore, Tuckerman's been rich in basketball history. People know, they've seen Tuckerman at the state championship game. What would it mean for you to win a state championship as only a sophomore? And you're the coach's kid.
Yeah, it would mean so much, to be honest, because all the work we have put in, it'd be crazy if we won something like that.
What do you want to do? I know you're still got a few years left in high school. What do you want to do when you get done? Have you thought about that?
Well, I mean, I want to go to college for sure, and I think I'd want to play ball, but I just don't know where or anything like that yet.
You as far as career-wise, you have any idea what you might want to do when it comes to a career?
I think coaching basketball would be fun because I've seen my dad do it, you know.
Kind of runs in the family a little bit.
Yeah.
I understand. Yeah. Well, Mackenzie, hey, it's great to have you on here. I appreciate you. And you've got a bright future ahead of you. Looking forward to seeing what else you have to do the rest of your career.
Thank you.
Guys, we've got a good one up in Tuckerman. You need to go out and check her out because she's going to be a bright star in the state of Arkansas. Back to you at the Hall of Fame.
Thanks, RJ. Keep up the hard work, Mackenzie. We know the finals bring out the hardcore fans, but also casual fans who are just learning about basketball. If you are just learning about the game, we have a treat for you. It's the Arkansas PBS mascot, Clifford the Big Red Dog. Let's watch as he learns the rules about the double dribble. Here's Paw Calls.
It's Paw Calls with Clifford, referee Derek Lewis, and his daughter, referee Erica Lewis.
Double dribble. It's a possession where you dribble the ball with two hands, basically. You have the ball, you stop. You have the ball, possession of the ball, then you dribble, pick it up, dribble again, and that's a double dribble. The call goes this way, stops the clock. Double dribble, point of possession of which way the ball's going. And normally, little fifth graders and below are really good about this.
1, 2, 3, Arkansas PBS!
Keep working on that game, Clifford. You kids at home, keep an eye out for more paw calls during the halftime shows. And to keep up with the championship games on Arkansas PBS, log on to our new Engage app. You can download the app at the App Store or on Google Play. That's going to do it for the halftime show. Let's get you back to Bank OZK Arena for the second half of that girls 2A championship on your home for the high school state basketball finals, Arkansas PBS.
We are at the half, a minute 44 left at the halftime break, and it's 20-13. Melbourne on top of Salem in the Class 2A Girls State Championship game. Bobby Swafford, I'm RJ Hawk, and Bobby, you think about this game, and Melbourne is a high-flying team. This is a team that was in the state tournament averaging 71 points a game, and at halftime, Salem's held them to 20.
They started out shooting the basketball so well in this contest, but I think we're starting to see the effects of playing a team for a fifth straight time.
Yeah.
Maybe trying to do a little too much on the offensive end. They're not creating the fast break turnover opportunities. Salem's doing a nice job of taking care of the rock, and so they've got to be able to work the ball inside. That's where they've got the clear and obvious advantage. Pound the ball inside, because you're talking about 3:31 to close the first half that Melbourne went scoreless. And they're letting Salem hang around, and that's the last thing a two-time defending champion wants to do, is let someone who they think they're better than hang around.
Yeah, and let's look at the stats at halftime. Melbourne shooting 37%, Salem 20%. Three-point shooting is not very good by either squad, and there are not many free throws attempted during this ball game, but really it's just been a hustle play by Chelsea Hamilton as well as Jenna Lawrence and Kenley McCarn that have done this. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first half real fast, and really when you look at the overall shooting, great job right there by Melbourne. Just nothing, there's nothing spectacular, but they're doing it fundamentally. And right there, Yates, she's been big for Salem on the defensive rebound.
Yeah, Salem's been the key cog, or for Yates, for Salem. 4.6 rebounds, a couple second chance opportunities. They're going to need some production from her, but the job she's doing defensively can't be overlooked, because she's really doing an outstanding job on Jenna Lawrence, the Arkansas commit, limiting her to 0 points in that first half.
I will say the three-point shots that we did see fall, they came from deep range. Between McCarn and Chelsea Hamilton, both took some deep threes and knocked them down. Back to action here at Bank OZK Arena as McCarn's going to start the shooting, and boy, a fadeaway jumper on the right side from 10 feet, and that's how we're going to start the scoring here in the second half.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more aggressive Melbourne team try to get to the lane, try to get to the paint, create some easy chances for themselves.
They work it back right side. That's over to Chelsea Hamilton, and she loses it out of bounds, and Salem will have the basketball back. 22-13, Melbourne on top of Salem.
I guess we really shouldn't be surprised that this is a tight contest, RJ. As we sit at 9 points right now, the first three meetings all decided by 5 points or less.
Chelsea Hamilton has it out in front of the scorer's table. They bring it back into the lane. Hamilton hits underneath the bottom of the rim, but we've got a whistle and a foul. She got bailed out right there because the shot actually hit underneath the rim, and she'll head to the free throw line to shoot two.
But again, nice job by Hamilton to get into the lane, try to create something for herself. She's hit 2 threes, but she struggled at the foul line as she's just 1 for 4 from the stripe.
Shots up and good.
Spoke that one into existence. Glad I could help you out.
Well, it's all because of you.
It is whatever I say, the opposite happens. So I figured that out after yesterday.
And the second one's up and good as well, and it's 22-15.
9 points for Hamilton. That's a game high.
They work it back right side. That's into the hands of Humphreys, who was able to knock it down, and you're starting to see shooting heat up a little bit more here in the second half.
Nice job by Melbourne to get Jenna Lawrence involved. She was scoreless in the first half. What a nice set play for her, get her going to the basket for an easy lay-in.
Here comes Salem into the paint. They work it back left side to Hall, over to Strong. She'll pull up for three. It's hard off the back of the iron. Rebound taken in by McCarn. And it's intercepted by Hamilton. She's off to the races. Hamilton in the lane, puts up the shot. She's fouled. She'll head to the free throw line to shoot two.
Great job by Hamilton. She saw that cross-court pass coming, just stepped into the lane, caught it in stride, and almost beat the Melbourne defense back, but Lawrence there to knock away the shot, but also picked up a foul.
Hamilton's first free throw is good. Boy, she started the game off not being able to hit free throws, and now she's done it consecutively.
Yeah, she missed her first three, but now she's made 3 in a row.
Second shot's up and good as well. And it's a 7-point game.
Hamilton averaging 17 points on the season with 11 today.
McCarn with the basketball. Goes back left side with it. Weaver now over left side to Humphreys. Out to Roark. Back to McCarn for 3 from the left corner.
McCarn starting to feel it a bit. Had 6 points in that first half, already with 5 here in the second.
Here comes Salem now. Hamilton. Back over top of the key. They work it to Walling. Walling to Yates, back to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to pull up for 3. She knocks it home.
I'd say the nerves are out of the way for this one, RJ. A little tight first half, but both these teams starting to have a little success offensively. We'll see if the pace of the games picks up, and the shots are starting to go down.
27-20. Back right side they go. It's Humphreys. Humphreys into the hands of Jenna Lawrence. Lawrence in the lane with a right hand. She's fouled, and she'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
That's behind the back dribble there for Lawrence to create a little space for her. Found an opening. Got fouled on the jump shot.
Jenna Lawrence, the commitment to the University of Arkansas, as her first free throw's up and good. Stands 6'2". She's only a sophomore. Second shot's up and good. You got to think that if you're Mike Neighbors with the University of Arkansas and you get a commitment from a sophomore, you're pretty safe not to have to lose that one.
Yeah.
She's pretty dead set on where she wants to go.
Yeah, Mike Neighbors is not thinking that, though. I mean, he's going to stay in contact with Jenna Lawrence for the next couple of years. And granted, they're getting ready for the NCAA tournament down in San Antonio, but he's probably got an eye on this game.
Now here's Hamilton. Hamilton back over out to Strong. She has a runner in the lane. No good. Rebound's pulled in, and it's given off to Jenna Lawrence. Coming down with that rebound for Melbourne was Kylie Humphreys.
Well, not a bit of carry there.
They go left side into the corner. That's over to Weaver. Weaver back over to McCarn. McCarn goes right side with it back to Jenna Lawrence. Down low, deflected away, taken by Hamilton. She's off to the races. Hamilton with the right hand, it's good.
Good decision there by Lawrence to not try to alter the shot, just give up the layup. No need to pick up a cheap foul.
McCarn's going to walk the ball in the front court for Melbourne. Back right side, they swing it back left to Roark in the lane to Humphreys. She's able to get a turnaround jumper in the lane to go, and it's now 31-22.
She's made that move look pretty easy today. Humphreys has caught the ball deep 3 different times, and 3 different times she's able to turn, put it right in the net.
Hamilton off a cut, floater in the lane, in and out, no good. Jenna Lawrence pulls down the rebound. Pushing quickly now. Here's the 3 by Humphreys. It's an air ball that goes over the rim, goes out of bounds, and it's with Salem, and that'll take us to a media timeout. 31-22, Melbourne on top of Salem, and you're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Cherokee Nation, our people, our culture, our history, our future. To learn more, go to visitcherokeenation.com and say hello to the Cherokee Nation.
Is now a session.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
John's Honda, your hometown dealer for sales and service of Honda motorcycles, ATVs, Honda generators, and Honda lawnmowers. Family owned and operated since 1967, John's Honda offers factory certified technicians and experienced sales staff.
Farmers and Merchants Bank and the Bank of Fayetteville share the mission of Arkansas PBS to enrich and empower all Arkansans. Community, dignity, respect. That's what Me Banking is all about. More at mebanking.com.
For a copy of this state championship game or any other title game, all you have to go is go to mmproductions.net and place your order.
I'm going to need Matt Mason to give me a copy of this game so that I can critique you for next year.
I probably need it, to be quite honest. Apologies to the Fordyce coach. I didn't mean to open an old wound. He found us on Twitter. I do apologize.
31-22 as we go left side. As a 3 ball by Greenlee Hall that misses.
That was blocked.
Yeah. As McCarn has it for Melbourne. And work it back right side into the hands of Roark. Roark back top of the key to Lawrence for 3, and an off balance 3 that misses, and now bringing it up is going to be Sellers. Sellers on the right wing. Under 3 to play in the third quarter. Come back top side. That's into Hamilton's hands. Hamilton going to give a nice feed to Yates, and she gets it off the glass to go.
Great job by Hamilton to draw the defense and dish it off at the last moment to get it over to Yates, get her involved in the offense here in the second half.
Work it down low. That's over into Humphreys. Humphreys with a left hand. She's fouled. She'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Great initial defense by Greenlee Hall, but when the ball went up for the air, she kind of swatted at it. The arm came forward, and the officials are going to call that one every time.
So Humphreys at the line. Her first shot's up and good. And for Humphreys, that's her first free throw attempt of the day. Second shot's up and good as well. High arcing free throw shot. And now we've got a whistle and a timeout. It'll be a full timeout taken by Salem.
The 9-point lead matches the largest margin of the day for Melbourne. Salem coach Josh Bateman wants to take a timeout, make sure he gets his team into a clean set here. Prevent this from potentially getting to double digits.
Bobby, the day 1 of the championships was a fun day. It was nice to see fans back at Bank OZK Arena. Had over 5,990 fans show up here at Bank OZK Arena. And it all started off with a doubleheader game. In game 1 of the 6A girls, Northside beat Fayetteville 52-51 in double overtime. Then North Little Rock, they got a state championship win in 6A boys action over Little Rock Central 65-55. Then we had the 1A games last night, and Rural Special beat Norfolk 48-40, and Viola, they claimed a state championship over Westside 62-47. A lot of good basketball we saw yesterday.
There was a lot of good basketball. We saw a lot of nerves, especially when we're talking about the shooting in this one. Melbourne at 44%, Salem at 25%. That's a trend in the state finals. It really is. Almost every year, teams struggle to settle in and get into a good rhythm here, whether it's the backdrop, whether it's playing against the other team who's also in a state championship game, whatever the case may be. Defenses usually prevail here in Hot Springs.
Well, Salem with the basketball as Sellers has it left side, drive baseline, and she's fouled. She'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2. That foul's going to be called on Kylie Humphreys. And for Humphreys, that's going to be her 3rd personal foul.
Really nice job by Marley Sellers. She hasn't been involved much. She averages 14 a game, but just 2 here this morning. Nice drive to the bucket, get herself to the foul line.
Free throw's good. 8-point game with 2:20 to play in the third. Sellers' second shot rolls around and is no good. So McCarn's going to bring it up for the Bearcats. And she goes left side to Jenna Lawrence. Now they swing it back over to McCarn on the right wing. McCarn, cross court, tried to get in the hands of Jenna Lawrence and was over her head. Now here comes Salem. Salem over to Jenna Hamilton, or excuse me, Chelsea Hamilton. 3 points no good. Rebounds pulled in by Humphreys.
It's a good look, though, well beyond the three-point line, but Hamilton's knocked down a few of those already here this morning.
Lawrence goes left side with the basketball to Roark. Bounce pass down low to Humphreys, but it's stolen away by Hamilton. Here comes Chelsea up the left side. And she'll swing it back out and clear things up with 1:33 to play in the third.
Hamilton's anticipation on defense is pretty evident today and pretty impressive to see from out of just a sophomore.
Sellers works left side, floater on the left side, no good. Yates is there to get the rebound. She puts up the shot, and she'll head to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Nice job again by Yates, working the window and cleaning off the mess. Got a chance to knock down a couple foul shots.
I tell you what, Amber Yates has done a really good job of blocking out and being in the right position to get offensive rebounds.
Yeah, her knack for finding the basketballs, pretty impressive. 7 rebounds here, 6 points. Good chance to add to it.
Free throw's good. Cuts the lead down to 7. As coming in the ball game for Melbourne is going to be Lanny Cornelius. She takes the place of Kylie Humphreys. Second shot's up and good as well. 6-point game.
It's 8 for Yates, 8.6 rebounds.
McCarn brings it up to the top of the key. Now works it left side into the corner. That's over to Weaver. Now back over top side they go. Over to McCarn. McCarn works left side to the wing. Now back top side over to Weaver. Trying to get it down low to Jenna Lawrence. They do. Has a wide open man cutting down low. That's Josie Roark, and she lays it off the glass and good.
That's a great job by Lawrence to face up, square around, survey the defense, and hits Roark for the easy lay-in that ends a 3-minute scoring drought.
Here's Sellers. Gives it up back off to Hamilton. 40 seconds left here in the third quarter. Hamilton, top the key, works left side. Gives it off over to Walling, now back over to Sellers.
25 on the game clock. Looks like Salem may be content with letting this one run down and get the final attempt of this quarter.
Down to 15 seconds. McCarn's guarding Sellers. Down to 5 seconds. Sellers in the lane with the right underhook. How about that? What a great move. 35-29. And we've wrapped up the third quarter here at the 2A Girls State Championship game. You're watching it all right here on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Highlight fest right now for both teams as they turned it on in the third quarter. Jenna Hamilton doing work for Salem right now. But then you look at Jenna Lawrence and Humphreys. Boy, they're doing some good things over for Melbourne. And we start the fourth quarter of play where Melbourne leads at 35-29 over Salem.
For just $5 a month, you can receive the member benefit of Arkansas PBS Passport, an on-demand library of the best Arkansas PBS programming. You can learn more. Just visit myarkansaspbs.org.
Sellers has the basketball for Salem as she gives it off to Hamilton. So Hamilton being dogged right now by Weaver.
It's a big bucket right before the third quarter horn to close this gap to 6.
Here's a 2-point attempt on the left side by Walling, and the ball's going to go out of bounds and stay with Salem. Could be a big bucket if they can convert right here as Yates gets the inbound pass over to Sellers. Now back to Hamilton.
Hasn't been within 4. Salem has not since late in that first quarter.
Hamilton works right side, comes up, puts up a shot. It's blocked by Jenna Lawrence. Come back over to the right as Roark has it. Now back top of the key, they work it over to Cornelius. Now over to Lawrence. Lawrence at the free throw line. Trying to drive, has it knocked away, but she gets it back. Puts up a shot with the right hand, and that's a nice shot.
That's a tough, strong play there by Jenna Lawrence. Defense was pretty sound, but able to fight through a few arms and knock down the short jumper.
37-29, under 7 to play in this one. Now here's Sellers, left side, another block by Jenna Lawrence.
The defense starting to rise to the occasion here in the fourth quarter. Back-to-back possessions with the block shot.
Kenley goes back right over to Hamilton. Or excuse me, that's Weaver. Weaver left side over to McCarn, and ball's going to be knocked. Well, there should be a foul. They're going to call the foul on J.C. Strong for Salem. And that's her second personal foul. Now we've got a timeout on the floor charged to Salem.
The foul's not really an issue for either side today. It's 7 on Salem total for the entire game and only 10 for Melbourne. And both teams nowhere near the bonus.
It's been a fun game so far. Stick around later today. We've got 2A boys action. That's Lee versus Caddo Hills. Then 3A girls, Mayflower versus Centerpoint. And then the 3A boys, Mayflower and Harding Academy. That's all the action that's going to happen later today.
There'll be a lot of purple in this building coming up this evening.
Yeah.
Both Mayflower squads making their way to the state finals. Centerpoint also got a little purple.
Yeah. I don't know what color Caddo Hills is.
I believe they're red and white. Coach Josh Farrell, just 24 years old.
You know, I met his dad yesterday. We were in between games, and I walked down to talk to some guys at AAA, and I saw Josh Farrell's dad. And
He's talking about a legend right there, David Farrell, head coach of the new school. Former coach at West Forks, got 600 career wins, I believe it is. Also the coach at the University of Ozarks in Clarksville.
So, we're back to action as the inbound pass comes to Kenley McCarn. Go back left side to the corner. That's to Cornelius. Now they work it quickly around. Here's Lawrence for 3. It's no good. McCarn pulls in the rebound.
It's a big offensive rebound from Melbourne. That's a shot that Salem will let Melbourne settle for, but the big offensive rebound going to allow the Lady Bearcats to bleed a little more time.
Here's Lawrence for 3 from the corner. It's no good. Sellers pulls in the rebound, and she'll work it quickly in the front court. Sellers, top of the key. They work it left side to Strong. Strong at the free throw line. Back over to Hamilton. Slowing things down back at the jump circle goes Hamilton. Left side over to Strong. She'll pull up from the free throw line and knock it in.
That's a big shot for J.C. Strong. She'd been scoreless. The nice 15-footer pulls her team within 6.
Here comes Kenley McCarn. Goes right side. That's out to Cornelius. Back cross court. They work the row arc down to the left corner to McCarn. McCarn gives it off to Jenna Lawrence, and it goes out of bounds because she was fouled.
A nice drive and dish there by McCarn. Try to create something off the bounce. Finds a wide open Lawrence who gets the hack. Get a chance for 2 at the line.
So that foul against Salem was on Amber Yates. And for Yates, that's her second personal foul as the free throw's up and good. Second free throw is good. Out to an 8-point lead for Melbourne. 5-14 and counting in this one.
Melbourne's done a nice job of keeping that lead, right in that 6 to 8 to range for most of the second half, not allowing Salem to get within one possession, but we'll see if the Lady Greyhounds can make a late push.
Here's Hamilton with the left hand. It was up and no good. Rebounds pulled in by Melbourne and given off to Jenna Lawrence.
Yeah, it looked like Lawrence got a hand on that shot as well.
Left side was Weaver. Now back to McCarn. She'll try to pick some time off. They go to Humphreys down in the corner. The ball was partially deflected by Hamilton. Now back over to Cornelius. Over to McCarn. 4:30 left here in the ball game. McCarn on the wing. Left side, they swing it to Weaver. Now back to the left corner to Cornelius. And we've got a whistle and a foul against J.C. Strong for Salem.
And Melbourne just working the ball around the perimeter, working some clock, see if they can get a wide open cutter to the middle of the floor. And if you're Salem, you're going to have to stretch the defense out, try to speed the Lady Bearcats up.
Here is Kenley McCarn with the basketball, and she's fouled that time by Marley Sellers. That's Marley Sellers' first personal.
Next foul going to put Melbourne at the line, so they'll be shooting the bonus for the remainder.
Here comes McCarn, right side, trying to get it down low to Lawrence. Lawrence is able to take it off the glass, and it's good.
That's exactly what Melbourne was trying to do, force Salem to come out and guard them, get a one-on-one situation, and Lawrence takes advantage.
10-point game. Here's Sellers. Goes top side. That's out to Chelsea Hamilton. Hamilton trying to work around a screen. Working it back down to Yates, and Yates had to just go off her fingertips and out of bounds, and that's going to take us to immediate timeout. Melbourne 41, Salem 31. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Championship games on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Now, more than ever, community is important. Local schools, businesses, and charities are in need of support. Each one of us can make a difference. When you volunteer, give, shop locally, or simply participate, you help support and grow your community. It makes us all stronger when we all are involved. I'm Susie Everett with Everett Buick GMC. We're proud to be a part of this wonderful community and want to encourage each of you to be involved in yours.
Coming soon to Arkansas PBS.
Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Let me see it bounce, 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 bounce.
You can experience all the action all over again next week and watch every single state championship game on YouTube. It's going to be youtube.com/Arkansas PBS.
3:39 to play here in this one as Melbourne has taken their lead to 10, 41-31. Bobby Swafford, I'm RJ Hawk. Glad to have you along for this 2A Girls State Championship game. Here's McCarn with the basketball as they get into the front court to Jenna Lawrence. Nice cut to McCarn with the right hand, and they're going to call a blocking foul. The basket is good, and McCarn's going to head to the free throw line to shoot one.
Yates got over just a little too late for the charge. She gets hit with the block, and a nice finish there by McCarn, a chance to convert a three-point play and maybe put this one out of reach.
Free throws up and good.
Largest lead of the contest now for Melbourne as it stays at 13. 7-0 run for the Lady Bearcats.
Here's Hamilton in the lane. Stopping and popping, and it's not going as Hamilton couldn't get it to go, but Jenna Lawrence got the rebound for Melbourne.
Now Melbourne, you're going to see them work the clock and try to get something going towards the basket.
And work the ball around. Wearing some time down as we're under 3 to play. It goes out of bounds as knocking it out was Chelsea Hamilton.
Yeah, Hamilton does a great job of just anticipating a pass and jumping in a lane.
Here is Melbourne as Weaver's got it. Just going to give it off to McCarn. McCarn back over left side to Humphreys. Just doing a nice job working the ball around. And we've got a whistle and a foul.
Yep. Salem going to go ahead and give up the foul now and send Melbourne to the line. They're having a heck of a time trying to track them down on the perimeter. It's going to be the 1-and-1.
Free throws up and good. 45-31. Tell you, not enough can be said for what the job head coach Eric Teague has done with this Melbourne Lady Cats team. Going for their 3rd state championship.
We've got a lot of youth on the roster. Wouldn't be shocked to see them back here in Hot Springs again next year. Salem, 2.5 left. They got some work to do.
Here's Sellers back over to Hamilton. She's going to pull up for 3 and knock it home. It's 46-34. They're not out of it yet.
A big shot there. Go 3 for 2. Now you need, if you're Salem, you need Melbourne to oblige and miss a few free throws and a chance to really cut into this 12-point lead.
So it's 46-34, 2:19 to play. And Salem's trying to have some life after that Hamilton 3-point attempt. Bobby, you almost ask, what do you do if you're Salem to try to retain, as many possessions as possible? But they've really played a good game outside of shooting 26% for the game defensively. They've played fairly well tonight.
They really have. The 9 block shots are obviously a big reason why they're shooting only 26%. But here, if you're Salem, you pick up the pressure full court like they are right now and try to force a turnover, maybe get the 10-second call. But if they get across the timeline, you probably go ahead and give up the foul.
Down court pass goes to Roark, and she gives it back to McCarn. McCarn, right side to Humphreys. Humphreys swings it to Jenna Lawrence in the corner. Cross-court pass. They work it back over to McCarn. Over to Lawrence. Down to 2 minutes to play. Nice ball movement by the Bearcats. And we've got a whistle and a foul. And the foul is going to be on Cassidy Walling. And that'll send Humphreys to the free throw line.
Coach Bateman was being a little choosy on who he wanted to foul there. McCarn's already knocked down a handful of free throws. So now he's going to task Kylie Humphreys at the foul line.
Greenlee Hall's going to check back in the ball game for Salem. High arcing free throws up and good.
3 for 3 from the stripe is Humphreys.
Second shot is good as well. It's 48-34, a minute 53 and counting in this one.
13 of 14 from the foul line for Melbourne. That's how you seal off victories.
Sellers down to the left corner. They swing it back top side out to Hamilton. Hamilton lost the handle on it, picked back up though, and it was taken by Strong. Back over to Hamilton. She lost the handle on it. Now McCarn comes down with it for Melbourne.
Yeah, nice job defensively at top of the perimeter there for Melbourne. Forced the turnover, and their crowd starting to feel it.
Down to a minute 18 left. Goes back left side to McCarn. And J.C. Strong's going to be called with the foul. That'll send McCarn to the free throw line.
Yep, Salem coach Josh Bateman sending the reserves to the scorers table. He's going to wave the white flag as Melbourne 72 seconds away from their 3rd straight championship.
So checking in the ball game for Salem. I want to get all these names in for these kids. You've got Shea Bassam, Caitlin Estes, Yuki Beller, Sarah Young, and Mackenzie Hill all checking in the ball game for Salem. Free throws up and good.
Melbourne's been money at the foul line. 15 of 16.
So Shea Bassams brings it over, now gives it off to Mackenzie Hill. Hill back over to Beller. Beller has it to Estes. Estes cross-court pass. It's deflected out of bounds. And it'll stay with Salem with 53.5 seconds to play. And now the Lady Bearcats, they're going to do a mass substitution.
That starting five won a lot of games. They're going to finish the season 32-1. We read their resume earlier. It's just one that's going to be as impressive as they're going to find in the state of Arkansas.
By the way, Lenny Cornelius, Hallie Skidmore, Maggie McSpadden, Nancy Wan, and Kaylee Love all checked in for Melbourne. So here's the inbound pass to Skidmore. Skidmore goes left side. That's out to McSpadden. McSpadden gives it off out to, that's Nancy Wan who banks it off the glass for a three.
When it's going your way, RJ, it's all going your way.
Here's an interception taken that time by Cornelius. Bounce pass in the lane, goes up left side. That's out to Skidmore, and she lays it off the glass. It's good.
Yeah, the final score is not going to really reflect how close this basketball game was, but really gutsy effort from Salem, but they're going to finish 22-8 with 5 losses coming to this Melbourne squad.
Here's McSpadden, back left side to Skidmore. Down to 5 seconds in this one. Over to Skidmore. Or excuse me, that's actually Beller. And Beller has it knocked out of bounds with 0.8 seconds left. Inbound's going to come by Sarah Young, and that's going to do it. The Melbourne Lady Bearcats are your Class 2A state champions for the 3rd straight time, and they're celebrating at midcourt.
Pretty impressive performance from Melbourne when they turned up the defense when they needed to most. Salem got within 4 early on, late in that 3rd quarter, but it was just too much defense, a 9-0 run, an 18-3 run to close things out, and a scoring drop for Salem in that 4th quarter as they got scored 20-5 in that final period, RJ.
Oh, yeah, they're an impressive bunch. You know, normally you see when a group wins a state championship, there's tears. Not with this Melbourne group. They're like, you know what, we expected to be here.
Yeah, they expected to be here, but there's a lot of pressure that goes along with that.
Right.
They were expected to win this game. They were expected to win the state title all season long. That's why they loaded up the schedule on the front end with the teams that you mentioned, Northside, Jonesboro, Valonia, Van Buren. Played a lot of schools from larger classifications, but at the end of the day, you still got to go out and make the plays and beat quality teams. You're talking about they beat Salem 5 times this year. You know how hard that is?
Yeah.
But I guarantee Coach Eric Teed hated playing them every single time they showed up on the schedule.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And hey, hats off to Salem. They, as you said a minute ago, this score is not indicative of what this game was like. Salem played them probably as tough as anybody has all year.
It was 35-29 going into this 4th quarter, but the first 2 possessions of this final period, a stop for the Melbourne defense, a quick score for the Melbourne offense, pushed it up to 8, and quickly got them rolling there in this final period.
So there it is. Your 2A state champions, the Melbourne Lady Bearcats. With that being said, we'll take a quick break, and when we come back, we will have all of our halftime stats, MVP, and everything all along with that. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships in Arkansas PBS Sports.
How do you have a conversation about race? Follow along with best-selling author Ijeoma Oluo and A-State professor Dr. Sharice Jones Branch as they examine what talks about race don't have to be and share tools for having hard conversations. So you want to talk about race, an 18-part digital series. Watch more Black Stories on air or stream online.
Been announced that Kenley McCarn has been the MVP of the ball game for the Melbourne Lady Cats. There she is right there with her MVP trophy. And I think she's very much deserving, don't you, Bobby?
No question. 18 points. He kind of led the offense, orchestrated this dominant performance, especially in the fourth quarter. She's going to join us here on the broadcast, and just another state title going to Melbourne.
And Kinley joins us now, and Kinley, I got to tell you, that was fun to watch, but probably the toughest performance that you guys have faced this entire year was against this Salem team.
That is very true. We played them 5 times. They've always played us the best. We enjoy playing them because they actually compete, and it's a lot of fun.
You know, going into that fourth quarter, you're only up by 6. What was the message in the huddle going into that final period?
We just had to keep remembering that we were ahead, and we didn't have to rush anything. Stay calm and get open baskets and just be smart with the ball.
You know, I think they knew that Jenna Lawrence was a threat for you guys,
Yeah.
and they really did a good job bracketing her and not allowing for you guys to get the basketball to her. So it allowed for you to step up and have a big game tonight.
Yeah, they do that every game. They're pounding her, which we try to screen for her and get her open, but we tell her that if she'll be patient, then she'll get to score just as much as she wants.
Now, the bar has been set pretty high for you. 3 state championships in 3 years. I mean, I'm going to let you enjoy this one. Are you going to make it 4 for 4 next year?
We plan on it. Me and Jen will be back, and we'll be ready to go. So we're losing a lot of seniors, which is really going to hurt us, but I think we'll have a lot step up and help us out.
What was said at halftime? Because you guys totally, it seemed like a different team at halftime when you guys came out, instantly hit a couple big buckets to kind of get rolling. What was said at halftime?
Well, our biggest thing is to third quarter. We want to win the third quarter. We come out at halftime like the score 0-0. So we were playing it like it was our first quarter, and we always say if we win the third quarter, then we're in a good shot to win the game.
Well, you did do that, and it was a lot of fun, Bobby. I tell you, there's no better MVP than Kenley McCarn. So, hey, congratulations. Go celebrate with your team.
Thank you.
Thank you, boy. I tell you what, and you've talked about it, Bobby. She's not only going to get one this year, but she could do it again next year.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive what they've built with Coach Eric Teague. There at Melbourne. I mean, you're 3 straight championships. It's hard to win one.
Yeah.
It's hard to get to Hot Springs, let alone playing a team as quality as Salem is. And now you're talking about a team that has that has won 3 and has a legitimate chance of winning 4 straight, which has rarely been done in the state of Arkansas.
Well, now joining us is going to be Coach Teague. And Coach Teague, I tell you what, that was a lot of fun. And we were talking with your MVP just a moment ago that you've now won 3 straight. The bar's set pretty high. You get to try to do it again with all this talent coming back next year.
Oh, I don't know. I just want to enjoy this one. You know, it was tough this year. A lot of mental toughness. You know, of course, people are going to try to beat the best team in 2A, which I think we were. And you know, it was so mental this year for the kids, more than just physical and fighting back. And they handled it really, really well.
You not only had to battle COVID this year, you battled one of the toughest schedules that you could probably put together. Talking Valonia, Jonesboro, Northside. You weren't afraid to play anybody.
No, and I knew that would prepare us and get these guys in, you know, big game situations. And we tried to, you know, a lot of teams won't play us. But thanks to those teams that they did play us, and I think it helped them out too. But, you know, preparing like that in those big game situations, I think right here showed today that we can handle that situation. We don't panic.
You played them 5 times this year, that being Salem, and you know that's a lot. You know, you almost don't have any secrets at that point when you play somebody 5 times.
There's no secrets between us, and gosh, they're such a good team. They have some very, very talented players. There's a couple of great guards, and they're number 45 big interior player inside, and they're role players. And Josh Bateman is such a good coach too. And so, you know, it's just been a battle and big rivals.
They cut it to 6, that last possession of the third quarter. They get the big bucket before the horn. What was your message in the huddle, knowing that I've got a 6-point lead, it's their ball to start that fourth quarter, then you outscore them 20-5 in the final 8 minutes?
Well, the message was that we've been here before. We've been here before, they have not. And just be unselfish, move the ball. All the fundamentals we've worked on all year, this is where it comes into play. And it was just a simple message, and just to encourage them and let them just feel, you know, positive about that fourth quarter.
Coach, congratulations on a 3rd state championship, and maybe we'll see you again next year.
We hope so. Thank you.
That is Eric Teague, the head basketball coach for the Melbourne Lady Cats. And I tell you, everything about Melbourne's pretty impressive. Just from the coaching staff to the players, they get it done, and it was a lot of fun. Let's take a look at the highlights from the ball game. And Bobby, you know, you see that both teams had a little bit of a they were struggling a little bit early on shooting the basketball, but really Melbourne, they kept consistent as they shot 52% for the game.
Yeah, but they did it on both ends of the floor. 52%, a lot of that had to do with the fourth quarter. They got a lot of easy buckets, but defensively they made everything so difficult for Salem. They held the Lady Greyhounds to just 26%. They blocked 9 shots in this contest. They did it with their defense, turned it into offense, and they knocked down big shot after big shot from the perimeter, and there was your MVP, Kinley McCarran, who had 18 points.
And not enough can be said about Chelsea Hamilton, the sophomore for Salem, as she had a big game today, finished with 19 points in this one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the final stats for the ball game. And Hamilton finished with 19 points in a losing effort, but her team shot just 26%.
Yeah, they just couldn't really get anything going, and a lot of that has to do with the defense for Melbourne, but we've seen it time and time again, RJ. People come to this arena for whatever the case may be, if it's the backdrop, if it's the setting, if it's the nerves, they really struggle to shoot the ball well, and Salem was another victim of that. We've seen it a lot already in the first 4 games yesterday, saw it in the first game today. It's just got to learn to settle down, learn to handle those nerves. Melbourne's been here before, so it didn't really affect them too much. Salem just never could get that big shot to go down to really give them a chance late.
I think the free throw shooting, 15 of 16 for Melbourne, that was a key thing in this one. So, hey, we've got more basketball action coming your way in about an hour and a half right here in Arkansas PBS Sports, as it will be the 2A boys game, and Wes Moore and Bobby Swafford will have the call of that one. So until then, your final in this one, 55-34, Melbourne over Salem. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Basketball Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.